name is Justin Richmond. I'm the multiplayer designer at Naughty Dog, and tonight we're unveiling the multiplayer portion of Uncharted 2 Among Thieves. It includes a co-op version, which is 3 players working together to complete objectives, and both a deathmatch and a plunder version, which is our sort of take on the CTF version of online gameplay. It includes many different modes. The modes here tonight are deathmatch and plunder. Plunder is a version of CTF that's exclusive to our game. They're also playing the co-op version, one of our many versions of co-op that's in the game. Co-op is 3 players. The multiplayer is up to 10 players. In the online version with matchmaking and playlists, you can play with 5 players. Custom games you can play with up to 9 of your friends. You get to choose the options, whatever you want. Matchmaking, you get to go in and play a playlist that we've set up that we think is fun, and that also can be changed on the fly to adapt to the community needs. However, what people think is fun, that's what we'll put online. Co-op is actually a completely different campaign experience. It's not the single-player campaign. It's been completely tuned and changed so that it's fun for 3 players or 2 players at the same time. You will see some familiar environments, but they play completely differently than they do in the single-player campaign.
Oh God.
We've actually made the choice to go ahead and just design a co-op experience around the co-op players. Whether or not there's 1 player, 2 players, or 3 players is something we don't have to worry about. We can just always know that there's at least 2 human players in the game. So it leads us into a whole bunch of areas where we can do cool things that require human players as opposed to an AI player. So we try to make the experience as much as possible about making humans play together in a way that's fun, as opposed to, is this going to work with an AI player? Is this going to work with a human player? We can guarantee that you're going to have a fun experience every single time. Right now we're showing Deathmatch and Plunder. Both of them sort of benefit from our single player experience in the same way, in that everything you can do in single player you can do in multiplayer, which means you're climbing on things, you're shooting things, you're vaulting over things. There's a huge element of verticality to our gameplay, so you're constantly moving up and down the environment as well as side to side. On top of that, you get a whole bunch of cool special moves that you can do in the deathmatch and the plunder that you can't do in single player. Like, you can pull guys over ledges, you can bash their head against a wall to kill them, you can sneak up and do a stealth kill from behind. Plunder has a bunch of variations associated with it, but the one we're showing tonight is just the standard neutral flag CTF. So there's 1 flag on the map, both teams are going for it, bring it back to their base, up to X number of points. Right now it's 3. The difference is that our flag is throwable, and so we've hooked it up to our grenade throwing mechanic, which is different in this game from the original Uncharted. You can actually control the arc, not with the 6-axis, but by using the sticks this time instead. So you're actually able to run around with the flag, shoot your pistol, and then throw it to other players who can grab it and take it wherever you need it, which means we can do cool things like the flag cap points can be up above the ground level. So you have to throw it up to the flag cap point. Or maybe the flag is down in a pit somewhere. You got to get it out, then you got to get it to your base. So it leads to a lot more strategic thinking in terms of the gameplay itself. In both co-op and in multiplayer, you can pick up not only the flag, but you can pick up propane tanks and throw them and then shoot them out of the air to kill other players, which actually has its own medal associated with it. It's a very cool kill. It also means you can set up traps for players, move them around, throw it up somewhere where maybe that player doesn't expect it, and then shoot it and kill somebody when they're not looking for it. All the characters are designed, they're basically just skins. There's no difference between the actual players. They all move the same rate, they all have the same hitboxes, they all have the same collision, so there's no advantage to one player or the other. But we are going to have a large number of skins, both from this game and from the first game, and whatever we can fit in there, so that players can actually, pick the guy that they want to be and identify with themselves online, whoever they are. We have a whole system that's involved with currency, which I can't talk much about tonight. We're going to talk a lot more about it at E3, but we do have a very large sort of meta game system inside the game. We're just not talking much about it right now. I think the key fact to take away from this whole gameplay experience is that for the player that wants to play with just their friends and kill some AI and have some cool experiences, we have that. And for the guy who wants to go out and be really competitive and play in a competitive environment that's balanced and fair, we have that as well. So we're trying to cater to all different types of players with the multiplayer portion of the game.
Oh, crap.